See, people just be making this stuff. It never was a beef between Master P and Birdman. What it was, this Master P cousin, Master P out the Calio Project, this is his family, this is his cousin. You got Birdman, my little brother, and my homies, Magnolia Project. Back then when you did music, you know, how to say this? Now how they could send the music through the email, send you to open the verse, whatever, and you could get on a song. They wasn't doing that back then. You had to go to the studio and rap it. So how you got the Master P out the Calio Project and his crew, how they gonna come to a studio with Magnolia and guns and we got street war? It's never gonna work. That's why they never did no kind of business. So when people say it was P and Baby, no, it wasn't P and Baby, it was us. And they was both loyal to us. Or like people loyal to his cousin, his project, Birdman was loyal to us. That's why they never done nothing.
I always thought No Limit and Cash Money was like Bloods and Crips, right? I'm from New York. You gotta actually let me get away with it. But when you research you say, damn, PG and Soulja Slim was damn near best friends.
Nah, big facts.
But Soulja Slim represented No Limit.
Big facts.
Right? As a New Yorker, we thought that you can't be cool with No Limit and Cash Money. That's what we thought.
It was a time where you definitely had to pick a side, right? You know what I mean? Especially in the city, right? You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of street politics involved. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, because you know, they had an entourage and, you know, we had an entourage. That shit could have got dangerous. Like, that was, you know.
At that time, could you not work with a No Limit artist?
You know, Baby got a big super ego. P got a big super ego. Even if we wanted to work together, Jim wouldn't have cleared that shit.
No Limit and Cash Money are two of the most powerful labels hip-hop has ever seen. And yet at the peak of their dominance, they never once joined forces. That's not an accident. That's New Orleans street politics playing out in real time. Artists from both camps knew each other personally, grew up in the same city, breathed the same air. But the block affiliations ran so deep that any real collaboration between the two labels was basically off the table before it could even start. No Limit was rooted in the Calio projects. Cash Money's people came up out of Magnolia, and for a stretch of time those two hoods were at each other's throats. The original street hot boys out of Magnolia and the Calio crews had serious beef. We're not talking about rap beefs or diss tracks. We're talking real violence, real bloodshed, real consequences. People lost their lives over those differences. What's wild is that at an earlier point, the two neighborhoods were actually cool with each other, clicked up and moving together. But something shifted. Somebody made a move, and the peace fell apart fast.
It was just that I didn't get along with some of the people he ran with.
Yeah.
You know, some of the people that was with Cash Money, like I told you, you know, all your friends ain't my friends. I salute them for what they done, but if I don't get along with the people you get along with, you know, I'm not gonna do business with you. That's just it. He probably felt the same way. He probably didn't get along with some of the people that I ran with.
Yeah.
You know, it was two different communities, two different hoods, and
two different projects, right?
Two different projects.
Okay, you were
from? I was from the Calio, and they was from the Magnolia.
Okay. All
so,
right.
But you know, I mean, that's how I go, man. Like sometimes you don't want to mix with some of the people.
Yeah.
You know that it's just life. If you're really from the streets, you like, man, I'm good.
Yeah.
The geography of it all made everything more intense. Calio and Magnolia sit less than 2 or 3 miles apart. In a city that small, you can't avoid crossing through somebody else's territory to get to school, to handle business, to just live your life.
It is a serious thing. So if you in the Calio back then in Magnolia, it was like, we was right by each other though. It was almost like less than a mile or two away, maybe 2 miles away, 3 miles away.
Wow.
So, but it was real, and we didn't understand it because the city was so small, right? So if, like, you might be from there, but you walking 2 or 3 miles, so somebody hit your man and then you hit them. But you know what the crazy? It started off as fights. And then somebody just upped the ratchet, right? And then it's like, boom, somebody got killed. And then that person, you know, and it got stupid big because like 1 year I think we was murder capital of the world. And that was, in any city. So they took it real serious. So I had people, actually I had family in the Magnolia that I couldn't even go see.
It started as fistfights like a lot of these things do. Then somebody escalated it, somebody got killed, and it snowballed into something nobody could contain.
You understand? And before we came in the game, niggas was on some bullshit. So we thought we had to take it straight ghetto and show a nigga how we keep it real uptown New Orleans, you know?
P and Baby, I remember at a Source Award, I believe. And me and Wayne, we small in the mother. P came up to Baby, man, you know what I'm saying, with big bodyguards, you feel me?
But Baby ain't back down. Baby like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You know, Baby ain't no bitch ass nigga. I don't know the world think that, you feel me? But he ain't no big Baby, a real gangster, man. You know what I'm saying? So when P came up to him, you know, they were talking like men, but they ain't squash nothing. They just was like, what's up, nigga? What's up? Bam, bam, bam. Ain't nothing happened, you know what I'm saying?
Keep in mind, this was all happening during a period when New Orleans was literally ranked as the murder capital of the country. The stakes couldn't have been higher.
I mean, back then we was young, you know, we ain't rock with that, that ain't rock with us. So that's just how that was. We ain't see eye to eye with nothing, you know. It was really me and him. A lot of the artists got along with each other.
Yeah.
It was more of me and him.
Hey, y'all, something. We a couple blocks up from each other.
Right.
Do you think if it was beef, it would have been a walk? I like them dudes, man. I was happy for them. Even though we just don't get on together, we don't get on. Like, I don't fake it with people if I don't know you, I ain't hang out, which I don't do that. You know, so I don't do that. Like, dude, you see, I showed them dudes love. Everywhere I got out, shout out to Cash Money, man, for doing what they gotta do. I respect that they come from my hood. I wanna see them win, I wanna see them eat.
Now, while all of that was playing out in the streets, Master P was doing something nobody in the independent rap game had pulled off before. Around 1996, he locked in a distribution deal with Priority Records that completely changed the blueprint, and he didn't stumble into it either. He built up to it the hard way. P started by loading CDs into the trunk of his car and hitting the road. New York, Chicago, Texas. City after city, he was out there pushing his own music, building a fan base one sale at a time. That grind was real, and it showed him exactly how the business worked from the ground up. What really separated him from everyone else was that he understood the importance of investing in knowledge. He paid $25,000 out of pocket just to sit down with Michael Jackson's attorney, who at the time was negotiating the highest royalty rates in the entire entertainment industry, 22% per deal. That consultation alone was worth every dollar. The attorney laid it out straight. The only way to build a deal bigger than what Michael Jackson had was through an 85-15 distribution split. But to make that happen, P would need somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000 set aside just for marketing costs on every project. Master P didn't flinch. He went back to Priority with exactly that structure on the table, and they agreed to the terms as long as he was willing to cover the marketing costs himself. That's the part most people overlook. P took on the financial risk, but in doing so, he walked away with a deal where he was making more money than the actual record label.
People don't realize in 2 years, he's had 14 CDs. He shipped 250,000, 1,500,000, 400,000, 400,000, 300,000, 500,000, 2 million, 400,000, 1 million, 500,000, and 500,000 CDs shipped. All done underground? All done underground.
Well, I mean, that just go to show you that you just gotta keep your head up and keep strong and never give up. Because when you're about to give up, that might be when you're just about to make it.
Let that sink in for a second. No Limit ran with that momentum and never looked back. The label moved over 70 million records and dropped dozens of projects in an incredibly short window. Most of those albums went gold or platinum without traditional radio singles or music video rollouts. That was unheard of. In just 2 years, Master P shipped 14 CDs through underground channels. He was running a machine. That kind of success was impossible to ignore, especially for two guys already putting in work right there in the same city. Birdman and Slim had Cash Money moving independently, making millions before they ever signed to a major. But watching what P built with Priority gave them a clear picture of what was possible when you approached a deal from a position of power.
Man, give me some of that camera. What's the crackling?
Let me know everything there is to know about Cash Money.
All right, first thing to know about us, I got the rap game on lock. You must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying? It's Cash Money.
They took that same energy and applied it when they sat down with Universal Records. The result was a $30 million deal that let Cash Money keep ownership of their masters in an 85-15 split, mirroring almost exactly what Master P had negotiated years earlier with Priority.
I heard, I think even before I really heard a record, I heard that Universal had did a deal for $30 million and allowed them to own their own masters in an 85-15 split to Cash Money, the greatest hip-hop record deal ever. Definitely. Like, how did y'all get to the 30 million number? Was it just like, or even just saying, you own your masters, that don't happen?
No, that don't happen. They was trying to do a one-off, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna just leave. And as I'm leaving, Mel the Winter comes out, him and Doug. I'm like, what's wrong? He said, come in my office. I'm like, she trying to offer us a one-off. There was this woman, Jocelyn, at the time.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't that. We gonna just go home. Thank y'all for flying us out here, man. We straight. That man wouldn't let us leave till he gave us what we wanted and made sure we got what we wanted. We got the percentage we wanted and the money we wanted. He didn't even question.
2 labels, same city, same streets, different hoods. And somehow, they both ended up writing chapters in the same historic playbook. On Nick Cannon's show, Birdman sat down and laid out exactly how deep the rivalry really ran. He told the story of approaching Priority Records for a distribution deal, and Priority basically shut it down on the spot. The reason? Master P had reportedly threatened to walk off the label entirely if they even entertained signing Cash Money.
Priority. It's some weird shit here, right? Go to Priority. They fly us to California. Me and Slim, a couple of homies, we go out there. Nigga come in there and said, man, I'm sorry, we can't do the deal. He said, because Master P said if we sign y'all, he leaving. I just jumped on a jet and went back to New Orleans and was like, it, we just gonna grind with it.
That's not just competition. That's leverage being used like a weapon. And it wasn't just Birdman catching that smoke. Mr. Marcello, a New Orleans artist repping Magnolia who had dropped a project through No Limit, watched a life-changing deal collapse for the exact same reason. He had earned 3.5 mics from The Source, which was a massive cosign back in those days, and that rating put him directly on Russell Simmons' radar. When Marcello and his team finally sat down with Simmons, the offer came fast. Within 3 hours, Def Jam was ready to put a multi-million-dollar distribution deal on the table. The only condition was getting both Birdman and Master P on the same record together, which honestly should have been simple enough.
We asked P about the second single, right? P was supposed to put the money out for the second single. P told us, fuck the second single, go get another budget.
Oh, like do another album?
Right, which we got 500,000. We were so busy trying to make it go platinum, thinking about getting money off record sales.
I understand.
He like, fuck that.
I understand the vision.
Right. We dropped ourselves on Priority. We met Russell Simmons at Macy's when they was promoting Babyface. Asked Russell Simmons, you know, we walked up to Russell Simmons and was like, yeah, you know, this Mr. Marcello. Russell Simmons was like, I know it. Mind you, Brian, they got 3.5 mics from Source magazine. Wasn't no niggas in no South doing that. Like, I was lyrics. Wasn't no niggas in no, check it. Wasn't no niggas in no South get no 3.5 mic. Like, check the No Limit out. Bro, you got to be talking Fiend, or Mac, or Slim, or some shit like that, or Mama Mia, some shit when you come talking about getting 3.5 mics, because, like, that's us getting judged by New York. So, for me to get 3.5 mics, he knew exactly where I was. And he was like, him and Dodo exchanged numbers and shit. And he was like, this one I was supposed to sign with Def Jam, bro. That's why we was so fucked up when Dodo got here.
Birdman held up his end. He came through with a full 32-bar verse, ready to make it work. But Master P refused to be on the same song as Birdman. Full stop. That one decision killed the deal completely, and Marcello had to watch millions walk right out the door because 2 men couldn't put their egos aside for 5 minutes.
But what happened was, we got in touch with Russell Simmons. Doe made it clear that he had a relationship with Master P and Stunner. Mind you, at this time, this is the No Limit, for No Limit don't, and Cash Money don't with each other, right? Who the first person that have No Limit and Cash Money on the same album? Hey, no niggas doing that. No Limit and Cash Money ain't with no niggas. If No Limit with them, Cash Money probably ain't fuck with them, right?
Vice versa.
Right. So Russell come up with this amazing idea of, yeah, if you can get Baby and Stunner on the same song, yeah, 5 million. Distribution deal 3 out.
Damn.
We called Stunner. Stunner said, send a fucking record. Say it. Stunner did 32 bars on it.
That third one, G's.
Okay. Sent that bitch to P.
That's the hardest verse.
P saying that. He ain't this is, and I can tell you this also, right? The nigga Stunner put us up on some game too. He was like, when y'all do it, put it out independent first. and then sign your deal. Like making some independent money first. Like he was really putting us up on game and shit. Because he knew once the shit got done, we had the fucking deal. Like nobody had done it.
That's how real the tension was. Back in mid-90s New Orleans, artists weren't just picking a music lane, they were picking a side in the streets. The beef between Cash Money and No Limit wasn't just business talk and diss tracks. There were entourages, street politics, and actual bloodshed tied up in this thing. The super egos at the top of both camps filtered all the way down, and people at every level felt the consequences. Now here's where the story takes a turn that a lot of people don't talk about enough. On Drink Champs, BG opened up about his friendship with Soulja Slim, an artist who had his own complicated history with No Limit.
It was a time where you definitely had to pick a side, right? You know what I mean? Especially in the city, right? You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of street politics involved. You know what I'm saying? It was, because, they had an entourage of, super goons and super killers around them. And, we had an entourage of super goons and super killers around us. And it was real street beef involved, like, where it was, the bloodshed, like, during the mid-90s and, all that, so, that shit just could have got dangerous. Like, that shit was, dangerous, so we kind of, yeah, man, I'm just,
So, I mean, at that time, could you not work with a No Limit artist?
We wasn't, yeah, back then in the beginning, ain't wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though, we had our relationships, like I say,
like on the side.
Yeah, we had our relationships on the side, but just, you know what I mean? I think if, Baby got a big super ego, right. P got a big super ego, you know what I mean? And, even if we wanted to work together, them niggas wouldn't have cleared that shit.
Slim dropped 2 projects on the label before eventually breaking away to build his own movement called Cutthroat Committee. BG said he'd known Slim since they were kids in elementary school, watching him grow up and carve out his own lane in the New Orleans music scene. BG himself was no stranger to that grind. He put out his first project on Cash Money when he was barely a teenager, becoming one of the label's biggest names before splitting off to start his own Chopper City movement. So when he talked about Slim, it wasn't just industry talk. It was 2 men from the same streets who both knew what it took to survive in this city. BG described Slim as wild, deeply respected, and genuinely talented. He said people in New Orleans looked at Soulja Slim the way the rest of the country looked at Tupac. That's not a small comparison. That tells you exactly what kind of presence Slim had in that city and why his story still hits hard.
Soulja Slim like our New Orleans Tupac, man. You know what I mean?
That is the New Orleans Tupac.
Now big facts, like, one of the realest niggas that ever done it, you know what I mean? And, Slim was a cold-blooded gangster, like, for real. Like, Slim just was, different. But Slim had 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
The 2 of them were actually in the process of joining forces when everything changed. Cutthroat Committee and Chopper City were set to merge, and they were building an album together that could have been something serious. But that project never got finished. Soulja Slim was shot and killed the day before Thanksgiving in 2003, outside a duplex he had purchased for his mother. He didn't die in some random situation. He died right outside a home he bought to take care of his family. That detail alone says everything about who he was as a person. The Cash Money and No Limit story is filled with moments like this, where pride, power, and street politics collided and left real damage behind, not just in business, but in lives. And if you've been rocking with this series, you already know we're not done unpacking it. Drop a comment and tell us whose side you were on back in the day, Cash Money or No Limit. Hit that like button, subscribe to Fame Pressure if you haven't already, and stay locked in because there's way more of this story to get into. See you in the next one.
Check. Well, effect, in the Wild Magnolia right now. We're the Magnolia right now, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I got people in the Magnolia. Don't stop. Day one. So Slim out, just got out, and free me. Yeah. Once we got out of school, not out of school. Tell me when you started. Tell me when you started. I started back in 49, like about 91. In 91, started back in 49, you know what I'm saying? How long was that rap thing you did? How long was you gone for? Yeah, I've been gone. You might have worked 5, you know what I'm saying? I come home, drop, give it to them raw, then right back. Really have more, but it don't stop, you know what I'm saying? It don't. You out, man. What you plan on doing to the game now? I'm gonna hurt it, okay? I'm gonna hurt the game. They ain't gonna respect me. They break it down. You know that. You know what I'm saying? Give me 3 points. You go ahead. 3 points. Okay, yeah. I heard of some sun now going out and I know your project. Well, you know, they come out around them. They love sun, you understand? Well, you know, up, down, you love sun, period, you understand? But not all like, you know what I'm saying, how it's really, you know what I'm saying? Go down like that, well, guess what? Yeah, we ain't with that shit. Hey, real, let's get on stop. See, when I do this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It be straight from the street, real. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it real, gonna be straight from the street. This is where, you know what I'm saying? This is where I started it right here. And this is where I'm gonna finish it. You understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. We about keeping it real. Callie, yo, Mac, know everything hooking up together, showing the world that we gonna make this thing happen. It ain't nothing but love. I got love for the Callie, yo project, the Mac, know your project, the Melphamine project, the whole world, you heard? The whole down south part, you know what I'm saying?
It's like Cash Money, they was talking about some money, but No Limit, they was on that pain, that real street that niggas was really living, right? Right there at the same time, they was doing this, right? So if you're watching this, you already know this, right? If you don't know this, if you young, you too young to understand, Master P cannot lose against Birdman and Cash Money. They can't. They ain't got enough product. Only thing that Birdman do is rap. He ain't got no other business. He did some oil, that shit flopped. You know why? They own the name. They own the name.
They ain't making nothing. They making all their bread.
He can't do nothing with it. He can't do nothing with the name. He don't own the name Cash Money. He don't own. They
Master
own.
P own his.
See, he keep on using his name. Everything he got his name on it. When last time you seen that use his name? Listen, they said it was a squatter. They said nigga go to mansions, look at him, and then live there. That's what that's what they said. It's like, I can't make this up, but it's kind of crazy though. They battle each other, and then during the battle, I'm gonna say this: the song comparisons didn't make sense. They had two different types of music. They shouldn't even battle. How they gonna battle just because they're from the same spot? Master P and them pain, struggle music. Them niggas shining.
Bling bling.
Yeah, bling bling. Right? Them the first rappers to make everybody just turn dumb. They was the first ones to do it. So mama, who else did it before them? Yeah, bling bling. They put that in the dictionary. They started a whole dictionary called Ebonics off them niggas. Right? Listen, I'm not saying nothing wrong with them, but I'm saying that what they did was set everybody up